Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Bain's single grain whisky. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Bain's South African single grain whisky. The Bain's whisky is the product of founder and master distiller Andy Watts. The distillery near Cape Town was founded back in 2009, and this single grain whisky is a world award winner. It's won in its category many times over, and it's a whisky made from 100% corn. The whisky itself is 40% ABV, and it's matured in first fill bourbon barrels for 3 years, followed by another fill in first fill barrels for between 18 and 30 months. It's the only Bain's that's available in the UK, imported especially by the owners of Bain's Distell. So, should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. Before I start nosing and tasting, I'll point out that this is from South Africa's only commercial whisky distillery, and it retails for about $26.99 in the UK. It's not overly expensive and can be had for a few pounds less when it's on sale. Let's start off with the colour. I'd say that's like a yellow gold. It does actually say it contains colour on the label, so I don't know how far off each bottle is, but obviously batch variation means that the colour, I suppose, can sometimes be quite light. But let's start with the nose. Right, so it's very spirit forward. There's lots of alcohol vapour. Get almost like a acetone. Also get like a hint of emulsion paint. That tends to disappear once it's been poured for a while. Get almonds. There's almost like a creamy vanilla custard in there as well. Again, hints of banana or banana bread. Definitely picking up hints of fresh wood. Even a hint of brown sugar now. There's lots going on with this. And the longer you leave it in the glass, the more notes I seem to find. Sort of hint of floral there as well. But that wood that I picked up is sort of turning into like a charred oak now. Yeah, so lots going on. Let's try it on the palate. Okay, so for me, it starts off quite light. Then you get that sort of oak flavour, which is obviously coming from the barrel. And then you get like a creaminess, quite a sweet creaminess. Let's have another sip, see how that develops. Yeah, so that sweet creaminess, it's like a creamy toffee. There's lots of vanilla going on. It's slightly buttery, and then there's a hint of like a pepper in the background. Depending on how big a sip you've had, it can be a bit of a prickle, but it's very creamy and very sweet. But it's interesting because I find that this dram changes the more you drink it, the longer it stays in your glass. There is quite a bit going on. It's simple, but yet it can also be complex with how much is going on. But those flavours are quite simple. In terms of a finish, it's very dry wood, but it is also sweet. There is that vanilla, and there is a hint of pepper in the background. For me, I'd say this is probably a really good, if not the best introduction to single grain whiskies. It's incredibly affordable. There's lots going on. Obviously, it's not too harsh. It's very creamy, but also quite soft. I think it's probably suitable for a beginner, but it's also suitable for a more experienced whiskey drinker that isn't very familiar with single grain whiskies, because it's a really good base sort of starting point, especially because of the sort of mellow corn influence that comes through with this whiskey. So for me, it's a definite purchase. Obviously, I'm halfway through the bottle just gone, and when it's gone, I'll be buying another bottle to replace it. It's for me, it's one of those drinks that I can drink neat. It's a great start for the evening, get that palate going before you go into something a bit more advanced. But it's yeah, definitely one I'd buy again. Stauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.